collecting back this part of your body, right? Rebuilding your central channel, rebuilding your root chakra, your sacral chakra. These are going to be practices and things that can be really or vitally actually important for you. We've all come here with a divine purpose, traveling on a stream of cosmic dust from the stars into our mother's wombs, born into this precious life. It is no accident that you are here, my love, on earth, in this moment, in this body. You are here longing to find your place, to align with your purpose, to embody your passions and to live into the dreams of your heart. Yet so often we get caught, suspended in the tangle of life, not able to move forward, not able to find solace and comfort in a world that has forgotten the truth of our existence. As we begin to remember, as we peel back the layers, as we come together to uncover our unique gifts and reconnect with our authentic selves, we are able to see another way of being, a new possibility, a different life waiting to be lived. I have experienced on this complicated and wild journey of life that when we connect with the story of our soul, it will show us the magic of this life that we have been missing. It will open a window into the very heart of who we truly are, of who we came here to be, and gives us answers to our ever-asking why. Hello and welcome to another incredible episode. Oh my goodness, I just love this podcast. I love you. I love reaching out into the world with these incredible guests with incredible stories and incredible resilience and willingness to look at themselves in these deep ways and share it with you and share it with me and share it with the world. And so just so much gratitude as I arrive here today to share this episode with you. Chris is here with us, and she has recently published a book, and she's having some hiccups with getting it out into the world. And we don't go where you think we're going to go. We jump straight into her relationship with her parents, and we look at how abusive parental relationships are affecting our lives in the present day and what we can do about it. We talk about how your energetic body learns how to defend itself and why it's so vitally important that we learn to rebuild it, because it is the temple that you live inside, and it is a divine conscious being that is learning to move through the world just as you are. And so the deeper you're in relationship with it, the more you can listen to it and you can know what it needs, and you can see where it is having dropouts and issues and situations that we can so easily correct when we step into the energetic realm and we address it from this place. And Chris has done a ton of mental and emotional work, like so many of you listening have. And yet we bump up against these places, right, where it's in the energetic realm. And it is the next step. It is the place that we get to go next with our healing journey, with our spiritual path and endeavors. So I love that this was so prominent in today's reading. And we also look at how harnessing your power, engaging your inner warrior or warrioress, and turning your pain into your purpose are such a big part of this human journey. And navigating this space is rich with so much goodness when we can find the gold, right? Harvest that gold that lives inside the wounds. So thank you, Chris, for bringing this. And before we dive in, Crucible launches in a week. It feels so exciting and alive. And you know if this is the place for you. You know if your heart is calling you to something deeper, to this place where we join together in community, where we engage in shamanic journey, meditation, practices, exercises, rituals, ceremonies, all the things designed to bring us together in a sacred container, a sacred circle of sisterhood, where we weave our magic and our medicine together for the good of the world. I love you. I still want you to be there. And I look forward to everything that we can create together. Link in the show notes, sarahnoble.com/crucible. Yeah, reach out if you have any questions. I love you. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show. How can I help you today?
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for having me. What I wanted to ask today is about my book. I have recently published it. It's been about a month now, and I have just found that not only in the journey to make the book and develop it and help it to get out into the world, I hit a lot of hiccups, as many people do on their writing and publishing journey. But I really felt that once it was out in the world, that would have been behind me. But as I said, it's been out a month now, and it's just still had a lot of hiccups of just trying to reach people. And I'm just wondering if you can kind of give me some direction or understanding of what's going on and things maybe I can do around this, or even if it's just a lesson for me.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the question that they are asking is, how's your relationship with your mother?
I'm estranged from my mother. That's a good question.
Mm, yeah, that has something to do with it. So I see the energy, right, coming through your crown. And it's coming down. It's the inspiration. It's the book. It's the life, right? This gift, this creation that is channeling through you. And as it hits, kind of like it comes to your heart, and then the energy starts to siphon off the side. And in order for the book, right, to come to life, that creative power needs to come all the way down into your sacral area, your root chakra, so that you can have the necessary power in order to bring your dream into life. And so the way I see it is it gets siphoned off at your heart. And that's part of what these hiccups are about.
Okay.
Would you like to explore that a little bit?
Sure. I find it so interesting. Just what's coming up, it's just surprised and not surprised at the same time.
Yeah. Those relationships, our parents are such huge influences in our life and who we become and the belief structures we carry, both right mentally and energetically. So, would you mind sharing a little about your estrangement from your mother?
Absolutely. So I'm estranged from both my parents. They are both abusive narcissists, and I had a very difficult childhood. It took me a long time to cut them off. In fact, I regret not doing it sooner, because the first time I felt I should have done it is when my dad hit my oldest child, and my mom tried to make me feel like the problem for making a big deal out of it. And I did ultimately forgive what my dad had done. And it took another 8 years where he did not physically hurt my child, but they both emotionally hurt the same child. And then my dad threatened to hit my husband. And that was this is enough. And it's been about 7.5 years now. And I have found so much peace that I can't even describe the contrast. I mean, the best I could say is just such a dramatic healing for me. And it is what ultimately changed my life for the better in so many ways. But it really was to protect my family. It wasn't even about myself at first. So that's why it's so interesting to me that here I am. I've made all this progress. I've had all this healing, and to have created this book, and to now know my mother's somehow involved in this hiccup is just like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah. And as you know, right, nothing is a coincidence. And you're on this call today because of this, right? It's a divine appointment to understand this more deeply, right? As you bring something beautiful into the world. And I just want to reflect how much courage it takes to walk away from relationships. And what a beautiful example, right? You are setting for your family that says, this is not okay. And I am going to.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, coming back around, right, to what you can do and giving you sort of a fabric or a framework to work inside of and some understanding. And you did mention briefly that you do energy work and mediumship. And so you have quite a grasp on the energetic world. What I experience energetic bodies to go through when they are under high stress and abusive systems when they're young is they create a protection mechanism where they sort of take their insides and dump them to the outside as a way to defend and distract and kind of create a decoy for abuse that is happening. Because when people are abusing us, they are either putting energy into us that they can't handle, or they're taking things from us that they want. And unconsciously, right? A lot of the time, especially in these energetic realms, people are mostly in the unconscious realm of their trauma and are just acting from that place, not recognizing the energetic disturbance that they are causing for the children around them. So, as I look at you, right, your body, out of love for you, has done this. It's said, okay, all this precious, divine wisdom, source, energy that is being developed as you grow, it takes its structure and it puts it outside in order to protect your soul, to protect basically all the goodness part of you, that part that connects you to spirit and divine guidance, your intuition. And it has to put it out from your body to protect really the central channel. And when that happens, right, it also takes away our ability to connect more deeply with that part of ourself and to really bring our dharma and our soul gifts to the earth.
Yes. And to further validate what you have said, bringing up my mother in this, because I am estranged from both parents, but she's the one that constantly tries to get in and does it in a usually very nasty way. So I do have to actively, over these past 7 years, I've had to actively work to keep her at bay.
Yeah. Yeah. When people are so in their pain, right, they're desperate. They're energy grabbing because they are falling apart, basically. Yeah, and you know, we're holding this conversation more in that energetic realm and not diving into that emotional, mental trauma in what we're saying. So for you, collecting back this part of your body, right? Rebuilding your central channel, rebuilding your root chakra, your sacral chakra. These are going to be practices and things that can be really or vitally actually important for you as you move through life. Because if this pattern, right, continues to play out in your field, it will affect other parts of your life. It's not specific to just certain things. And I know this sounds a lot and could kind of sound a little bit daunting. And yet it's not. It's doable. It's just practice. It's just technique. And like I feel in you the amount of mental and emotional work you've done. Like I can feel your heart is like, yeah, there's some things in there, the here and there, but like you've done a lot. Like I feel that love that you've given to yourself. Like it makes me like a little emotional because there's such a tenderness there for yourself. Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful to feel.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is energetic reconstruction. And that doesn't need to be as, drag you through the mud as the emotional and the mental pieces can be.
And that's a relief.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I can give you some practices and things like that. We can talk a little bit about that after the show if you'd like. For here, for the sake of being in here for your book, what else would you love to know?
I've been told a lot that this book is meant to do very well. And I still believe it is of that vibration because it's meant to help people. But it's been a while since I've actually asked about the long-term aspects of this book. And I'm wondering if you could shed a little light on that.
Well, when you ask that question, my third eye starts buzzing and tingling down through my body. And like my head is itching, and there's a lot of sensation happening when you say that, right? And it's crown and third eye chakra. So, really, that connection to spirit. And I only saw the cover of your book and the title, but I got the sense, right? It is about us as spiritual beings. So I see there's a path on the cover of the book too, right? I'm remembering.
Yes, yes.
So I'm seeing that path and it's extending out far beyond the book. And my third eye is buzzing again. Like there is a longevity to the book. There is this path of where it is weaving its path through the landscape and has a sense of awakening, right? Like awakening people to something that they may not be thinking about and something that they need to be thinking about in the times that we're walking into. Yet when I feel the book right now, it feels stuck
Yes.
because of this energetic situation that's happening, right? Yet there is a lot of energy flowing from the book out into the future. So if you spend some time cleaning this piece up, it allows the words of the book to have wings.
I love that.
Yeah, and it can pull itself up out of the stuckness and then continue on the journey that it is here and intended for.
It's so interesting too, because as you say these words, it's so similar to the message of the story of the book.
Oh, that's a beautiful, right?
Right?
Like
No coincidences.
yeah. Yeah, I love Spirit always has such a sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not. But we have to
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Where would you love to go from here?
Well, forward mostly. Yeah, I guess I've really worked hard, as you even pointed out, just getting to that place of self-love. And ultimately, it has connected me to this inner peace. And I think I'm at this place of wanting so badly to keep this peace that it makes me a little combative over it. Like I'll fight for that peace. And I'm just hoping I could calm that.
Help me understand that a little more, please.
Well, it's more of the fact that, and this is so common for anyone that's experienced trauma, intense trauma, repetitive trauma, that when you work hard and you get to this place of peace, that you'll do anything to keep it. And instead of being in that release state of, oh, I'm peaceful and I accept it, I keep it, I continue with it, it's more of, I'm still in this warrior mode of, I will protect this with all my might and I will fight for it. And I just feel like that's very combative and I'm trying not to be, but it's a little hard. And as I'm saying this, I'm realizing that also connects to the energy of this blockage in the book. So I may be answering my own question as I'm asking, because yeah, I'm just, I guess, wondering, am I going to be able to accept peace without feeling like I need to be a warrior as well?
Well, if you ask someone else this question, they probably might have a different answer. But you're asking me, and I'm of the mindset of fight. Like, why would you not be a warrior? I mean, the warrioress archetype has guided my life, my whole life. And I am not like fighting, like hurting people, but being a stand for this, being like this is how it has to be. Like, I am not going to go down gently. I worked hard for this, and I'm not just working hard for myself, I'm working hard for humanity and the planet. You are not going to push me around, and I am not just going to be peaceful and like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore. To me, I'm like, I'm here to fight for a better way of life for everybody. So I embrace the warrioress within me and use her in an incredible and purposeful way, not in the unconscious, over the top way, but in a really conscious, rooted place of, yeah, let's use this. So that's what I offer.
No, I appreciate that. And I think I needed to hear that because I've been like you, the warrioress my entire life. And a lot of it is because I needed to be with survival. And so I've trained myself that it's no longer about survival, but it's also accepting it's okay to be a warrior and it's a good thing because I was always criticized for it. So that's right there. That's inner child work. So she needs a little hug. That warrior got to this place for a reason.
Yeah, and a couple things there, right? There's a threshold where she lives in the unconscious. And then there's the other side of the threshold where she is really conscious and she's harvesting her gifts and her talents and strengths and really learning to be intimate with that threshold so that you know which side you're on at all times. And then the other thing in what you said is the people that make it wrong, they're afraid of your power.
Yes. Yes. Always happen.
Yeah. And that's their issue. You get to be in your power and you get to live the life of the warrioress.
I'm going to use that as a mantra. I get to be in my power because I was never allowed to. And even though I have embraced it in so many ways, I need to say that to myself more and just say words like that. So I don't feel like I have to keep her at bay.
Yeah. She's got a big purpose to share.
Yeah, always did. I mean, I've always been a fighter, but when you live life fighting against things that feel and seem unjust and you're severely punished for it, definitely does something to the subconscious. So it's definitely part of that reprogramming.
Yeah. And I think it makes us stronger,
I
more
agree.
capable.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
And it's interesting, right? You use those words to fight against. And I have these words on my website. It's like I used to fight against, and now I fight for.
Yes, I love that so much. It's so true, though. Yeah, turning pain into purpose.
Hmm. Yeah. And I believe, right, those of us that do have these harder upbringings, the ones of us that make it through, because not everybody does, but those of us that do, I think it's part of our fuel. It's part of our dharma. It's this idea that our karma is connected to our dharma. And when we move through these uncertain times that our karma has brought to us, there's like more ability in us to really seat into our dharma because we have lived this really hard thing.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. It's embracing that and it's connecting to a different version of ourselves, but still holding on to all those lessons, all that energy that brought us to this place.
Hmm. Yeah. And as you do some energy reconstruction, you are going to be able to harness and sit in that power in a deeper way.
I love that.
Mhm. Well, does this feel like an okay place to land today?
Yes, yes, thank you. I feel a lightness in my heart. It certainly cleared something, maybe not all of it, but I definitely feel that release. I thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being willing to explore this with me.
Absolutely.